Hey there, Chinese in Canada. Um, Now we've made friends, I just wanted to make an eeny-weeny little video because I didn't get to respond properly to your messages and things because you've got friend block on your comments thing. Yeah, so sorry I look so terrible. I don't think you'd be jacking off over me right now. Sorry, man. No, I think, like, I understand what you're saying about the fact that you were drunk. And I could kind of tell something was a bit wrong towards the end of it when it was just, like, question marks and exclamation points and stuff about me having sex with Russell Crowe and my vagina. Oh, thank you very much for bringing that up. I know I have one. The reminder is always, like, great. So... And it's towards the end when you got completely unintelligible, I was really quite enjoying it because it was kind of funny. But I guess what I really want to say is there's a couple of things that I understand what you're saying, right? But I kind of want to call bullshit on a couple of things that you said, right? Because the original comments that you made were 3 days ago on my other video, which was like completely not provoking, not directed at you or anything, and they were pretty horrible. So I don't really get why I deserve them, and why it's fun to be mean to people. Like, the thing is, right, vegans have a sense of humor about being vegan. We're a pretty, wild and wonderful bunch. Very diverse bunch, and there are a lot of things in life to laugh at. But the only thing that isn't funny to us, though, is the things that are the very reason why we went vegan in the first place. I understand if you have different views. I mean, most of us who are vegan now did have different views before, and then we just came across something that changed our mind on that. And yeah, so basically, and, the things that you've favorited and things. So, to me, it doesn't seem like it's just like a fly-by-night, I was drunk, ha-ha-ha sort of thing. Like, there's something else underneath that, and you sort of were inferring that there was when you were talking about that girl who smacked a cheeseburger out of your friend's hand. And I think that's pretty messed up. And I wanted to say that before, but I can't get any bloody messages through to you. I think that is messed up, and I would never do that. I don't think many of the people who I've come into contact with on YouTube would do that either, or any vegan that I've met in real life. The only possible way that I would ever do something like that would be if perhaps, like you and me were sitting at a table, I'm eating my food, you're eating yours, and you grab your burger and you're like, smushing it in my face and laughing at me. Then I would send you a lunch. Then I would send you a lunch flying, no problems, and you'd deserve it. But I wouldn't just, walk past someone and take their hamburger and throw it. And I understand what you're saying about that other guy, the Vedic Sastra guy, as well. Because it's the same thing. It's like the same problem that I had with you, what you're saying about veganism, that you had with him. You know what I mean? Like, people being ignorant and applying arguments and logic that don't apply. It's very irritating. And I was wondering, so because I've always wondered why people do that kind of thing, and I could kind of tell towards the end of our little interchange, I could tell that you were a nice guy underneath. There's something in there, there's like a vibe I was getting from you. I was like, this guy isn't a complete prick, there's something else going on here, So, I mean, what is it? Like, because having a problem with all vegans because you've met a few that were dickheads, and there are, like I said in my other video, some vegans are dickheads, just like some people of any group are dickheads. But it's sort of like just going around picking on people who are vegan and putting their views out there, picking on them is like, well, it's like if I, like, am a complete ignorant bastard and I look at you and I only take bad experiences I've had with Chinese people into account and start harassing you and completely discount, like, you know, over 2,000 years of, like, highly sophisticated medicine and culture because all I know about is, like, free Tibet or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So, I mean, and the other thing I wanted to ask, and I could be completely off base with this, completely, but is part of it, because I know that certain parts of China, they're, like, hardcore into the meat eating, you know, and in terms of, like, variety in the kind of animals they eat and things like that. Do you kind of feel like it's a slight against your culture if people say that it's wrong to eat meat and other animal products? Is that part of it? Because personally, seriously, I just think all meat eating is wrong, and I get really annoyed when people, you know, who I guess are the kind of people that you would call petards. This might be something that you and me agree on. I get really annoyed when ignorant bastards go on, you know, those videos that Peter has put up about the dog and cat fur industry or things like that. And they go on there and they're like, fuck the Chinese, blah, 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 blah. You know, and if any of the vegans, like, try to get on there and say, excuse me, hypocrite, but you might want to take the steak off your plate before you criticize people in another country for their use of animals. You know, they just all get marked as spam and you can't see them anymore because people are so, like, I mean, really when it comes down to it, I think it's just racism, really, in the end. Because, I mean, they wear leather. What's the difference between fur and leather? There really isn't any. And so I was just wondering if it was, like, you know, if you kind of, I don't know, like, if there was any of that in there. Because I actually think, you know, all cultures have, like, a tradition of meat eating, pretty much. There's only a few that don't. So I'm not against any particular culture. And I think Chinese culture is awesome, personally. I think it's really crap that it's come to be known for only, you know, like a few more negative things that have happened in the last couple of years, really, when it comes down to it. Yeah. Oh, and the other thing was, I really wanted to ask, you know that Chinese gluten mock meat? I think it's called seitan or meitan. Am I saying that right? I've always wondered that and never had anyone to ask. So if you could, like, sort of write down how you would actually pronounce that, that'd be awesome. Yeah, and I'd really like to encourage you not to, like, pick on people for being vegan, because we're just nice people. We see something and it upsets us and we don't want to contribute to it. And we're not trying to, like, convert you. You are not our target market. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're committed to your meat eating. You're not who we're talking to. We're talking to people, you know, who are more, you know, thinking, hey, I might go check out this veganism thing. And then they go and they watch our videos. So we're not, like, shoving our stuff in your face. Even though, like, meat eating gets shoved in our face 24/7, right? We're not shoving it in your face. You actually have to go out there and look up our videos before you get all upset and troll all over them. So, yeah, please stop harassing vegans, because they don't mean you any harm, man. But anyway, I'm kind of sick, so I probably don't make much sense. But if you could watch this and, like, reply, that'd be awesome, because I really want to sort of understand more of where you're coming from, because I'm actually interested. And thank you heaps for your last message. It was really appreciated. Okay? Thank you.